Hello, and welcome back to episode 8 of Alwightmush Plays Return of the Obra Dinn. No, we got sounded both ears. It sounded a bit quiet on the left, but no, I think we're okay. So yeah, if you made it this far, then fair play to you. If you found this video from googling it on the internet, and maybe you're trying to solve maybe you're stuck and you're thinking, oh, this guy's done a load of videos. Well, I'm sorry, mate, you've come to the wrong place, because I ain't going to help nobody. You're going to get no answers from this video, let me tell you. But, if you want to watch a guy struggle to figure it all out and just sort of mumble endlessly and aimlessly, then, well, stay with us. You've come to the right place. So, those of you that are familiar with our previous plight will know that we've done all right. I think I want to say we've got like 6 or 9 of them done. So to be fair, that I think that's a 5th. Is it? Was it a 5th or a 6th? I can't remember how many dudes are on this poor vessel in the first place. So crew, what we got? Put the 60. Okay, so like we're about the 6th of the way there. So we've got a few. Okay, so ticks on here show people we know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15! You know what? We're actually a lot further than I thought we were. Oh, that isn't bad at all. We're like, if my math checks out, we're a quarter of the way there, lads. On the first playthrough, no, it's like writing an essay. You never get it on the first go. You've got to go through that until you hate it, until you're just sick of it and you don't care anymore. That's when you've reached your peak. That's when you got the sweet spot. There's a few on here that have upset me a little bit, particularly this guy. Now I thought he was the dude that had the tattoos, but I'm sure we had all of his stuff filled in, and we've got no idea. So, but anyway, let's not kid ourselves with trying to figure it out from there. We'll go back in from the fresh. So let's just do a little cheeky recap of the whole story, which sounds pretty awful when I say it like that, but we're not going to go through the whole thing. We're just going to go a little memorization. So loose cargo, this was a very brief little sort of period. Some guy was on board, I believe, who shouldn't have been. He's a stowaway is the official term, but he was crushed inside a falling barrel. So if he was looking for freedom, one might consider that he may well not have been English. Maybe he was sort of where did this take place in the overall scheme of things? Okay, so it shows on the first page. So loose cargo, right? So this was just down from old Blighty. This was sort of like clotted cream territory basically. So not far from the old English Isles. A stowaway, probably trying to leave England. Maybe he was a slave. You never know. He definitely looks, without sounding rude or un-PC, he looks like he may well not be a white Englishman, is what I'm trying to say. Please don't ban me, YouTube. I've barely got started. So there's not really much to see there. I'd say there's a lot of people involved at that point. There's a lot of moving parts. That's part of why I think it might well be a good idea to start, as I actually did, right from the end. And now that I know the overall story, I can go back and do it in sequence, because the way I see it, it's a little bit like a Quentin Tarantino film, in the sense that sometimes you start at the end and you've got those characters and you wonder how they got to that point, and you fill in the gaps along the way. And maybe that's the way we'll go. But anyway, second bit, bitter cold. So the illness started kicking in. Unfortunately, our Indian friends weren't doing too well. We found there's a group of Russians nearby playing a cheeky game of cards. They seemingly were aware of it maybe, but they weren't too fussed about it. Poor old Syed, we know him. We know that he's got a good tick on his name. He definitely didn't make it. And then another one of his friends who was nearby, and actually we found a bit later on that he was in a hammock just alongside the 3, I think, that are looking at Syed, but we don't know his name. But he's a one triangular. So what we do know about one triangular is we should know more about them really, but we haven't figured it out. So that's bad on us, really, isn't it? It could be any number of a few different Indian geezers, but that's that part. And then the end part was the cow was slaughtered, and it just threw it in there. The guy throwing up was Charlie. We kind of figured out that the carpenter and not the carpenter, the butcher was there as well. The carpenter, we've thrown a guess at the carpenter and his deputy. It could be the other way around. We don't really know, but you know, sometimes you just got to throw your nuts into the wind, if that's a expression that we can use or even exists. Moving swiftly on. So just to double check, that happened. Where did it happen? That's a good question. It happened. Okay, so it was not far off the old pork and cheese boys, I think, if my geography doesn't let me down. You can see the Gibraltar, which is definitely ours, around that area, and Madeira. So that's what happened there, and then further on, we've gone past that towards the Canary Islands, which incidentally are also ours, although unofficially, unlike Gibraltar, where this great sort of I don't know what to call it. This is something you'd find on Antiques Roadshow and would be worth like $1 million, and the old lady would be absolutely off her tits. There was so much money. And this was essentially taken from the Formosans, I believe. And we'd found that this guy, Nunzio Pasqua, he was knifed by Edward Nichols. I think the conversation goes something about wondering who it is. He identifies Nichols and he says, "Oh yeah, no problem at all." And he just bloody knifes him, which is not very hospitable. And as a result, this guy here, he was killed for it. He was, yeah, was he killed for it? Yeah, Okseng Lao. So he was, unfortunately, he didn't make it. He was framed for the murder. He was nearby, I think, and I suspect he came over, couldn't speak any English, and they were like, "Oh well, I'm afraid you're the one that did it." But can you? So this guy was evidently shot by a number of people. So by a foreign enemy, you know, whether you could say that. Whether I have to just pick one of the people that shot him, I don't know. I mean, he died in front of a firing squad. Let's be honest. Like, it could be any number of them. Mr. Wolf, maybe, but when we say Mr. Wolf killed him, I mean, he's the one that gave the order. So, you know, isn't that good enough? Let's just go for it. Let's throw it in there. If that triggered a little reveal there, then we would be just loving it. That would just be impressive. But I say that's penciled in there. We don't know that for sure. He hasn't been ticked off completely, but anyway, we can't get bogged down in this. We're doing this too slowly. This guy here, what happened to him? I think this was the little boat, maybe, when they went away. Can't remember, to be honest. I'm not sure how he died. I don't think he got spiked. No, not sure. But anyway, oi, 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 oi. We don't want to see that. The calling. So this is the shell, and this is where this little second ship, I think, was trying to get away from the old the Obra Dinn, and the crab people just mullered them basically, and old Beng Sia, he sort of released the fire of this Antiques Roadshow antique, and that killed the crab or the fish people, I think. There's a lot of death there. A lot of people weren't even in the boats at the end. She died as well. She got throat cut by some absolute anti-mermaid. This bloke, I say, he set off the thing. The fire went through. He was shot when he got back because he was pretty much the only one that made it, I think. The only one that made it alive, at least. And the Formosan guy, he sort of, he wasn't happy. He saw his dear Miss Ling hadn't made it. He was tasked to sort of defend her, but evidently didn't do a very good job. These two, we never saw what happened to them, I don't think. I think one of them we see getting pulled into the water, but we don't know who he is. He got speared, I think, if that's right, but we don't know who he is either. I think he might be Russian, possibly. He has got that sort of forlorn Russian look to him, if you catch my drift. But there we go. And then unholy captive. So this part here. So this guy, I can presume after he killed the dude, the mate that came back. I think Nichols, if I remember the name. He was being held by this dude. The fish thing above spiked them through. There's a guy over here that's translating who's this guy here. Talk about a shell, very dangerous. So he was talking here. So he's someone that can speak Chinese, it would appear. So maybe that narrows it down. Or Formosa. I think Formosa is a sort of... I think that's what Taiwan was, if my Wikipedia research is correct from. I did look it up, actually. But going forward, so this guy here, you know, he's been a little bit cocky here. He's like, oh yeah, we'll do a nice fry up, mate. And unfortunately, he just got absolutely finned. He got struck in the face and he died from it, which is a little bit embarrassing to be killed by a fish tail. But you know, sometimes that's what happens. You just you gotta look out for those things. This guy, one of our Indian friends, maybe. I think he sort of he got crushed by the cargo in the commotion with the fish tail. It squished his head against something. This guy here. This is the guy that's missing the leg, and as you can see, he's a one triangle dude. You know, we think actually that this was done by the Swedish guy, but we don't know his name, unfortunately. We have no idea really. He's part of the firing squad, so maybe he's a classic seaman, so to speak. Not really too sure. Not too sure at all. I think he was alive at this point at least, but so he was missing a leg, and we did find his bones at least. No, saying that, maybe he didn't die. You know, he might well be alive. Because we didn't see him die, we only saw the bones of his leg on the cargo deck. So, what, he's alive in Africa? No, we didn't mean to do that. It's an unknown, I think. Because to be fair, like I was thinking, he wasn't really torn apart. He was kind of dismembered, but again, we don't know if that was what did for him, if you know what I mean. But again, we're getting far too wrapped up in some of these things. But it's quite useful to go back through it again. We've got a lot of X's across here, which I can only assume means that we absolutely nailed this section. You can see these are the fish spears with their little things you can't pull them back out, and then a good old sword. This guy, he was electrocuted. He was right up on top of the mast. This was quite a nice little composition, this scene. I was quite impressed with this one. But this is how it all started. There's a big old storm. And this guy here was the first of many to go. I don't know how we got his name, actually. That's quite impressive. Unless it was Nick. Yeah, I think they say Nick got done first, I think. Maybe not in those words. Yeah, well, almost those words. En demon, a demon. So maybe actually this person is French, perhaps. So we'll look out for that when we go through, if we remember. Probably won't. This guy here was spiked, but you know, we think we know who this guy is, but maybe we don't, because maybe it's not come up. Maybe we've not guessed enough to make it come up, but not sure. But essentially, the crab people attack. They come in. They realise that, you know, we're not going to kill it. It seems we're no use. We've got to burn it. This guy here, you know, he was decapitated. You could say his throat was crustaceaned. He didn't sort of do too well. This guy as well had the same thing. He was the surgeon's mate. This brave soul, old Charlie Erstick, he sort of went full Buddhist monk and just leapt on it as part of the fire. I don't know whether he he's a bit chilly and he did it for a laugh or what, but he didn't make it, that's for sure. Old Emil O'Farrell, good Irish name, I would only assume. He was spiked as well. Was he the one that was behind the wall? Can't remember. No, don't remember. I think he might have been the deck above the others. Yeah, this is the guy that's behind the wall. I think he got spiked and he went around the corner, but he was actually shot accidentally by somebody else, which was unfortunate. Maybe he would have survived the first one, maybe not. Another guy here that we've seemingly got all the triggers for, but is he definitely the carpenter? Maybe I have got them the wrong way around. Maybe so. It would sort of make sense if it's two of the three potential that triggers it. The next one I think the next one I'm pretty sure about. I think I might switch the carpenter and the carpenter mate over. You know, it feels a little bit gaming the system, but to be fair, you know, sometimes maybe you just got to take a punt on it and let game the mechanics. But three triangles does make me think maybe I shouldn't be making such fucking massive leaps of judgment. But anyway, this is the guy that got done right at the bottom of the ship at the base of the stairs. I believe he was quite unfortunate. He probably thought he'd made it, but sadly not. The Doom. Oh, the Doom. The Kraken Doom. Just when they thought they were okay. Oh. So it would appear that we haven't completed all of the Doom. So there must be another body that triggers the next bit. And that I have conveniently skipped over. So the next one is on the bow. Bow? Bow. We're going to say bow. You know, if Andy Greycott was here, he'd be absolutely disgusted with me. But fortunately, he will probably never see this. So we're okay. So that's maybe that will be where we go next. We'll go to this memory here. This guy was crushed. I think he was crushed in the gunning section. The gun deck. Same thing. And so we'll go back to him and we'll sort of see where that leads us, I suspect. Old Chrissy Wolf, he was the gunner. He was quite unfortunately done in by the cannon. This guy, I would have thought we could guess what happened to him. I suspect he's probably sort of fairly straightforwardly, at least the cause of the death should be figure-outable. Maybe this was early days when I was a bit of a noob. This guy got crushed by the loose cannon. We know that one was a straightforward one. Don't know who he is though. This dude, he seemingly, like the Buddhist monk, he sort of full on Allah Akbar himself right up into the sort of explosion. Not quite sure why he decided to throw himself with the powder. Who knows? But he was a brave soul and he scared off the Kraken, so fair play. So this guy is another one that I've guessed a little bit. I think I guessed mainly because he had sort of like roughly sort of pagan tattoos, I think was the term I used. He was initially the guy that I thought was French. Probably not though. Again, actually, to be fair, you know, if this guy and the two carpenters were correct, then we would have got another little set of points, but we don't, so evidently something's wrong. He got absolutely pulled apart, so yeah, rest in peace to him. She was killed. We were aware that she was dead because the captain named her and had her corpse in the bed, moved the body post-mortem. That helped us figure out who Martin was, and I think that one was correct. Yeah, can't be asked to look through that. But yeah, she stuffed it. Conclusion, we don't know yet. The bargain will remain unknown until we leave the ship and return, so that's sort of like end game stuff to figure out perhaps what happened up to these parts. I assume, what did it say the bargain is? This chapter will remain unknown, so okay. Right, okay, so I do think I do need to finish the whole thing, so I can't just sort of sneak this bit because yeah, I can't even get in there, so that'll make sense. And then this is where we started, I think. No, it's not. It's not quite where we started. So this guy was torn apart. Well, again, is he definitely dead? No, I think we saw his body, to be fair, but he's missing an arm, and we're not sure how that happened. I don't think the Kraken did it, unless it was the early part of the Kraken story that I've missed, perhaps. It's hard to say. This guy, another one that I've guessed and is, I don't know the attacker, but apparently I should do, because he was the guy, Paul, look out, or you'll not make up. So that guy was telling him he won't take the last boat, and someone on the boat said look out, and then blah blah blah, other things happened. This guy was, oh okay, he was shot by one of the women, so presumably he was trying to stop them from leaving as well, because the last boat, as we said. This dude here, the famous beard man, we don't know his name, but he was shot point blank in the face. I think he's the one that says fresh bastard, maybe? I'm not sure. Is it that way around? Yeah, I think the X's are the speakers. The person who died is the X. So he was trying to mutiny, I think. Okay. But anyway, he died then shortly after the guy that killed him, which was this guy here, which we've got a few memories of. He was clubbed by this other dude. The other dude, I think, was the guy who made it right to the end. Then this guy was knifed, and he crawled away into his room. I think we see the knifing a little bit earlier. Tell Pete's mother I tried my best to pull him back to save him. That seems like maybe... Okay, so is he... Our memories of him, where else was he? So, tell Pete's mother I tried to pull him back, try to save him. Okay, I thought maybe he was involved in the fish people attack, perhaps, but maybe not. To get back to where I was now. I thought maybe when the fish people pulled someone under, he was referring to that, and maybe I could figure out who he was from that memory, but the doctor, I presume, was with him. Ochnor, you're cut. So I guess... Although, did the doctor make it this far? Maybe this is just some Scottish dude who isn't the doctor. I can't remember if the doctor died. I don't think he did. Maybe it is him. Tell Pete's mother I tried my best to pull him back to save him. Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit. So Brennan is nearby. I don't know whether I threw that guess in there. Can't remember. These two, I do wonder if they will be nobody other than some passengers, and it'll be these two. And maybe the guess that we have to make is just throw that in there. If we don't get anything right, then we switch them back the other way. I think they're the only women on here. They seem as though there's an unknown passenger we don't know of. But I think that's all we've got, so I think I might leave that for a while and then switch them back. The old Carpenter strategy, as it's sometimes known. These dudes, old side part and Simon, no idea. Assume he probably made it. You imagine he's alive and is yours. If that's what we just said the other people were. Oh bollocks, I don't really do that. But again, it's a bit of a guess. We don't even know if they went to the Azures, to be fair. The surgeon. Okay, I think he was on that little rowing boat as well, maybe. And then to the end. We've managed to go through this in a mere 25 minutes. This is the first part we saw. Old Willie Oscar shot by the captain. We know that because the captain said he's killed his friend and his first mate, or whatever he's called. Yep, first mate. Captain opened the door, kick it in, they should break it down, blah blah blah. Take more than those shells. And then the captain, if that wasn't enough, he decided to fight this guy as well and knifed him. We don't know who he is, but he's on the firing line. He's been involved in a few little times. So the shells it would you assume is what he's talking about here, but he's saying that he threw them in the sea, but they don't believe him, I suppose. And then this guy, he managed to sort of die. Captain clumped him. He was the clumpy, and the captain was the clumper. He's appeared in a few memories. Got very bald head, and yeah, the captain is on a killing spree, a triple kill, and you know you could essentially say the captain got 4 kills because he killed himself. I don't know what the kill death ratio would be if you kill yourself. Is that a negative? Is that a 4-0? 4-1? I don't know, but anyway, he killed himself, and her brother. That's how we found out the Hoscut deed. Well, we eventually realised that her middle name was the same, and that's it basically. The bosun. That's someone we've seen. The foreman in charge of the general operations. The purser. Accounts for all cargo value and trade transactions. You know, I haven't really looked into my terms particularly. I kind of just winged it on what I know. So perhaps perhaps I could learn a little bit more from some of these. Gunner, rigging, seaman, on and below deck. What about top man? Hire to seaman specialised in work above the deck in the sails and the rigging. Okay, so when I do the lightning bit, for instance, maybe I can pick out the top mans from that. The midshipmen, they're a little bit higher up. The stewards, helmsman, ship's wheel. Have we ever seen it be on the ship's wheel? I wonder. We'll have to look out for that. The main deck, the top of the ship exposed to the weather. The gun deck went down. The orlop deck, the lowest deck containing the cabins and stuff like that. All good. But yeah, I think that's all we really need to sort of worry about. But I do think what we need to do now is to replay the Doom, because we haven't actually concluded it because we haven't completed it. I was wondering why these pages were not filled in, and that is evidently why. So we will start with this woman and we'll go back from there, I think, and maybe we will be able to figure out some names as a result, because it does seem a bit silly that I've just completely lost that part. I don't know quite what happened, but anyway, let's see what our old Abigail's got to say for herself. Fourth mate. So this woman here, and this woman. Okay, so these are the women that So these are the two that I've said are alive, but truthfully, at this point, they've already left, haven't they? Wasn't that Soldiers of the Sea? Where's the bit where they sodded off? Does that happen after this bit? I can't. I've lost my Okay, so this is the escape. So yeah, this is reasonable. They could well be. Yeah, they could be on the ship at this time. But there's these two women here. Can't we just tell that because of just how clear the face is? Even like one of them's got a solid centre parting, whereas this woman's got sort of like an afro-ish sort of thing, if you see what I'm saying. Yeah, that's 100% her. You know what? Those are right. We might not be right about where they ended up, but we've definitely identified the right people for sure. This geezer here, don't know about him. Why is he with them? But is he a passenger as well then? He's kind of with... No, he's got to be, yeah, one of the geezers. Is he correct? No, because we don't know the attacker yet. Oh, the group got chopped in half, of course. This geezer here. Oh, he's the Clumpy. Captain Clumpy. How do I get my... What are we on the Dinn? I'll get the speech up. So see the Scottish accent, blah blah blah. So it's only those ones there talking. I think that's the only thing of any interest. These guys are getting stuck in. We've got this dude, pointy nose, and this dude. Oh, that's how he lost his arm. Of course, of course. So. Yeah, this is how the cracker took his arm. We even talked about this earlier on. I think we said literally this guy's probably about to lose his arm, and indeed he did. So yeah, we know that's the case now. So actually, because of this, we can fill in by a beast. I mean, he was torn apart. He kind of... I mean, he was, but he bled out after, I assume. No, it definitely wasn't that one. The old age one, I'm interested to see when that comes up. Crush my beast? Nah. He was. It's got to be torn apart. Okay, so I think that one's right. So I'm actually going to go for the Carpenter switcheroo. I think Carpenters were involved in, they were a band, but they were also involved in, oh, which part were they in? I think the Soldiers of the Sea, potentially. Because I think, okay, so this guy here was Spike, but he is not Winston, he's actually Marcus. Maybe. And then Winston was the guy who died at the end. This guy. You'll have to see it. You know, we talked a big game, and for a brief second there I thought we were wrong. But you know, sometimes you just got to take you've got to put your triangles where your money is, where your mouth is, and that's what we've done. And maybe I think that's 18, and you know, those are some good clues, some good eats. I'm pretty impressed with myself on that one. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to deny it. That's another 3 kicked away. You know, this is what it's all about. You know, just going back through the story. Got to sort of like look for these little clues. You know, you've got a better idea of who people are now. Now that I know that this is old Alfie Klestel, you know, of course I'm going to know who he is. Maybe now we'll realise that this is actually his mate. Maybe this is the bosun's mate. Yeah, maybe we'll just got to throw that in there now. You know, he looks a bit French, with the little thing going on there, with that sort of little stripy vest. But that seems like a very French way of dressing. So you know, maybe we'll just leave that right there as it is, just so you can remember who he is potentially. But anyway, I think that's that done. Is there anybody up high? I seem to remember there was a few sneaky sausages that I hadn't spotted initially. There's no one at the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Can I go up here? No, it's not going to let me. I think it would be over there. Oh, who are you? So I don't think I've spotted him before. We can't fill in what happened to him, but maybe at the end of the chapter we can say, oh, you know, we don't know what happened to him, but he's probably got pulled overboard. There's no one up super high. That would be sneaky. There's no one on the rigging. Sometimes, you know, you've got to think about height and scale in these sort of situations. But no, I think that's all we've got for this area. So we'll move on. There's not much to say about what happened to this guy. We already know roughly. We just don't know who he is. Unfortunately, he's half the man he used to be. That's for sure. The sailors get drunk, but this guy, absolutely legless. Let me tell you, the worst drunk I know. So, you know, that's not a nice way to die, is it? At this point, his legs are up there. I think his legs probably got pulled into the sea, to be fair. Oh, this is the old nose man. Or the French guy. You know, we thought he was French, but maybe it's this guy. Lars Lint. You know, we've guessed his name, but it hasn't come through as part of the other trio, so whether that's just because it's prioritised other people over him, it's hard to say. This guy, probably Russian. This guy here, the gun. He's seemingly one of the higher ups with his choice of hat. You wouldn't be getting a hat like that unless you were sort of a pretty top tier. So maybe he's the gunner's mate or something. Maybe he's Polish. Tricky to say. This dude also dead. Oh, it's a bit of the old little tentacle there. I don't know quite how they. I assume that came from there. Oh. Oh, hello. So there's a little rowing boat involved. So people are trying to get away at this point. Unfortunately, though, we can't tell who they are. And there's 3 of them, and they almost certainly didn't make it. There's surely no way that you're gonna survive a storm like this. This guy here, so he's aiming right into the old tentacles. I don't know if we spotted him before. It's Mr. Parrot, we think. Nose man, this dude here, I think he's the translator. You know, no, we can't even guess at it, but I feel like we could figure him out. I don't imagine there's too many people left who are not Formosa based who can speak Chinese, but I'm not sure. Oh, Kessel here, he is receiving the gun. Or is he? Is he going for an overhead sort of like push? Or is he receiving it? I reckon it's coming towards him. I think this guy probably would throw a gun like that rather than throw it overhead. It seems like it's a more controlled way to do it, I would have thought. But anyway, he's lobbed his gun because he's got a few guns over here. He doesn't need all of them himself, of course. Yeah, he's the thrower, he's the receiver. I don't really know why I'm debating this because I don't think it really matters, but I'm doing it anyway. We're being thorough. This guy's already got a gun, which we can see. Again, maybe the fact that this dude has got the guns, maybe he's Polish. The gunner's mate. Don't know. Just don't know about that. This guy over here is holding on. I think that's about all we can really say. What is this dude doing? Oh, he's just speared it. That's a ballsy move. You know, just good shot as well. I think that's everyone that we can account for. I say we didn't see these geezers before, so it's nice to see that we've found some more people. But yep, let's keep moving on. Dune Part 6. The main bit. It's a term we still haven't figured out. Tempted to Google it to be fair, but maybe I shouldn't. Okay, so this is the bit where instead of throwing the powder, he just threw his whole body in there. He was like, well, you know, achieves the same thing. I might not survive, but bloody hell, I'm going to do it. So just before this point, so this guy fell overboard. Oh, it's the famous monkey man. Well, we can't guess him. This dude, oh, he's about to get torn apart. This dude, yep. This dude, right? All a little bit unknown. So what was the chat in this part? Get to the main bit quick. Hold on. Throw the powder. Get to the main bit. Again, yeah, that could well be a stumbling block if we don't figure out what that means, and it is of some importance. We can't see the little rowing boat, I don't think, at this point. Don't know if people are trying to get away at some point. Tricky to say. I think, is this where we need to go down below? No, not quite yet. Okay, we've got this dude coming up the stairs. We've got, that's about it. So the captain's just down below at this point, sort of, but we don't really know what he was up to be fair. Okay, let's see what this. Could we see what he's up to? So this part is all about the explosion man. Okay. Is this where? No, I don't want to click that far. Okay, so maybe we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. It's a huge blast spell explosion. Then a guy was crushed by a cannon. So I do believe we need to go down below. I thought I couldn't get past, but maybe I've no, we can indeed not get down below. At least not from there, I don't think. Fuck. So, okay, so we can kind of do it by going through this little gate and then reappearing down below. So I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. Blimey, it's like we've been in a dream. So we'll come down here. The cannon geezer. So he was crushed by the cannon, as in the Doom was over here. So we're over here. So we need to go over this way a little bit. Yep. So there. So meanwhile, on the deck what we're on, the gun deck as it's known. Sir Loose Cannon? Is that a Scottish accent? Obviously not what I just did, but Sir Loose Cannon. Can we? No, we can't even guess it. So that was just a leap of faith. We shouldn't be even attempting such bravado. So he's the guy that exploded in a second. This dude, don't know. Oh, secret area. But nothing to see over there. So this guy gets squished. We're all fine about that. This guy also dies, but I'm not sure exactly how. This is old Parrot, we believe. Couple of bodies over here. One of the Russian dudes, I think. So the next death that we should go to is the fuse one, which is the gunner And I think this guy as well. So I think that's the Wolfinator, or what was the Wolfinator. I think this guy might be right. Okay, so I don't think right. It's back to 3. So I think this is where I've missed, I guess. No, I've heard this one before. Because Belay Spark. Okay, so he just gets full on crushed. This is Wolf. So Wolf gets shot by the cannon in a second. I think maybe he'd already lit the fuse, perhaps. I'm not sure. This guy got crushed. So he's one of the geezers we know about. Meanwhile, so these guys are all about the cannons. So surely we can figure out a little bit based on that job title who they are, perhaps. Potentially Russian. This guy is the tattoo dude. We're not sure about him. Can I? So Seaman. Unless he's a Welsh Celtic one. John Naples. He's like full on retro Celt. He's like a, what are they called? I've forgotten what they're called now. Rome Total War. Blue coloured sort of stuff. You know what I mean. Yeah, I guess potentially these guys are seamen, potentially, because they're all sort of in this sort of part of the deck, and they're all like the lower sort of like that. You know, they're barely being given clothes, to be fair. So, it's a tricky one. I think they're going to be one of the hardest ones to identify. I guess there's probably going to be a lot of, as we all know, deduction to sort of figure out what's left. Yeah, we'll keep going for now. So this guy was crushed. Is this? Okay, so that's part 3. So part 2. Maybe this is where it stopped then, because I haven't found the body to instigate part 2. I thought the mystery worm should have led me in the right direction. Unless there's a two sort of body option and I've picked the wrong body maybe. Okay, so we'll go through here. A bit confused in that. So this is the first guy. And this guy is... Who is this guy? This is part 4, okay, so maybe this is the one that I was kind of aiming for. Because we haven't actually figured out how this guy died. Okay. So was I so brought up on him, I haven't even noticed the fact that this guy, he got hit by recoil. Is that what's happened to him? Unless I've just gone, oh, I've just gone straight back to the same. I didn't think that was the same one though. That's a creepy, creepy noise there. So that's just the sound of him getting crushed against the gun, basically. The Kraken's got him. That's his foot up there. He's just getting squished. And I presume that that's the body that's on the floor, so... I could have sworn I'm going to have to go back again, unfortunately. So... But the only thing is that I thought it happened No, it didn't happen here, evidently, because otherwise it would be... Okay, so he's there. Who's... I'm getting quite confused now. So that's the first guy. Second guy there. Third guy here. Who is this and how did they die? Is there someone that went through a window or something then that I've just completely missed? So, part 4. Is he like... I can't see in here, can I? I thought maybe they'd come through the wall. So this is the wolf stuff. There's nobody else in amongst this, is there? So there's 2 deaths in this part. And when I look at this guy, it isn't the guy I think it is. This goes straight through the wall. It's not him. Where is this dude? The underway sketch. So he's at the front here. So we just literally have got no idea about this guy. What is, how many triangles? He's not even got any triangles. So how do we know anything about him? Maybe we can like see him from above or something crazy. Super confused. That's his hat. It's savage, isn't it? Oh, and this is through here. He was just sat on the other side of that wall, having a crap. Next thing you knew, cannon. No, I'm struggling, I'm afraid. I'm struggling to figure out where this mystery dude is. The corpse is. So we know one is here. So we haven't found the other one though. It's not on another deck, it would appear. I mean, the danger, if you were gonna do, you know, like if you were clicking for your theory test, you'd be clicking like an absolute madman if you were seeing this. I mean, how can this not be the dude down here? Don't understand. Part 3 of the Doom. We've been here before. Belay Spark. So this is just before. Okay, so this is this guy here. So he's right behind, and he doesn't appear. I mean, if there's a cannon going off, surely this guy gets vaporized as well. So we'll just say he was shot by the cannon, and it's the beast what done it. I mean, there's no way that you're there and you're going to be okay after it happens, unless the beast grabs him and pulls him out. I mean, if he died in the next part, surely he hasn't. Yeah, it's got to be one of those 2 things, surely. This guy, he's crushed. Load, leave my hands, aim level, ready. So this is him speaking here, I think. You know, King Gunner. And it obviously goes horribly wrong. So that's that part. Then part 2. Oh crap, done it again. Can't keep clicking that. Back to the Doom. On the bow. Okay. So where is that on the ship? It's the front or the back, right? I think this is such like basic ship terminology that it's probably not even going to put it on there. +7, +6, +5, +4, +3. I'm going to cheat. Alexa, where is the bow of the ship? It's the most forward part. So the forward direction has got to be this end. So I need to go down here to find the next one. But it's all greyed out, so we can't see anything. So do I have no other choice? Because the mystery worm isn't showing me, so maybe this is why I didn't actually find it, is because... Oh, I thought that was just a little tag. Maybe I haven't found it because I need to physically go there. Perhaps that is why. So we'll go through this bit and we'll head ourselves across to the bow of the ship. So we're here. Yep, so we need to go to this end. And that's what we're going to do. We might not find anything, but... Oh, is that looks like a ghost door. Oh, we've never even been here before. How have we managed to... Not opening, okay. So this little ghost door, is that only open now because of something we've done? Because it's not opening, maybe because there's something in the way. But anyway, a new puzzle. This is good, this is fresh. We like fresh stuff. So someone's dead over here. There's damage to the ship, so Kraken could have done this. We'll just double check there's nothing else around. Doesn't appear to be, so let's see. Part 2 of the Doom. Did you just fart? Did he just violently shit himself and also... Oh, it's the artist. Poor guy. He just like... Did he just shit himself? You can't believe it. But well, we'll figure out if he did shit himself in the next episode. That's 58 minutes through, so thanks for watching. See you on the next one.